You're tuned in to the Robert Joodat Podcast, where curiosity meets human peer review. Though the voice is artificial, the knowledge is authentic. Let's begin.
There's a piece of software so powerful that it's one of only 5 systems the US Department of Defense has authorized for mission-critical national security systems. It can turn any bunker into an instant command center, autonomously task satellites and drones, and transform weeks of intelligence work into hours. Today, we're diving deep into Palantir Gotham, how this AI-powered platform emerged from Silicon Valley, what makes its architecture so revolutionary, and why it's reshaping intelligence operations worldwide. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how modern surveillance actually works and what it means for the future of national security. Let me hand this over to someone who's been tracking the evolution of intelligence technology. Help us understand what Gotham actually is.
So, Gotham is what Palantir calls an operating system for global decision-making. But that marketing speak doesn't capture what it really does. According to their official documentation, it's a proven, end-to-end platform for AI-enabled defense, intelligence, and law enforcement operations. Think of it as the brain that connects every piece of intelligence data an organization has.
Okay, but where did this come from? This sounds like something out of a spy movie.
Well, it kind of is. Palantir was founded in 2003 by Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, and others. And here's a fun fact. Thiel named the company after the Seeing Stones in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Even their office locations have fantasy names: the Shire in Palo Alto, Rivendell in McLean, Virginia, and Grey Havens in London.
Wait, so they literally named their surveillance company after magical seeing stones? That's either brilliant marketing or deeply concerning.
Right? But here's what's really interesting. They started focused on counterterrorism data right after 9/11. The company has been building relationships with military, intelligence, and law enforcement agencies for over 2 decades now. It's the result of more than a decade of partnerships with these organizations.
So what does Gotham actually do that's so revolutionary? Break it down for me.
Here's the key insight from the research. Gotham is not simply a database. It takes fragmented data scattered across various agencies and stored in different formats and transforms it into a unified, searchable web. Its purpose is deceptively simple. Take whatever data an agency already has, break it down into its smallest components, and then connect the dots.
Connect the dots, how exactly?
Think about it this way. Traditionally, if you wanted to investigate someone, you'd have to manually check DMV records, then police reports, then maybe social media data, then financial records. Each system is separate. Gotham transforms historically static records, Department of Motor Vehicles files, police reports, subpoenaed social media data like location history and private messages into a fluid web of intelligence and surveillance.
That's actually pretty incredible from a technical standpoint, but also terrifying from a privacy perspective.
Exactly. And the capabilities are expanding rapidly. According to Palantir's own materials, Gotham's targeting offering now supports soldiers with an AI-powered kill chain, seamlessly integrating target identification and target effector pairing. It can autonomously task sensors, from drones to satellites, based on AI-driven rules or manual inputs.
Hold on, AI-powered kill chain? That sounds like we're talking about autonomous weapons systems.
Well, they emphasize human-in-the-loop control, but yes, we're talking about AI that can identify targets and pair them with weapon systems. The platform can transform any bunker or outpost into an instant command center with mixed reality capabilities, bridging the gap between physical and digital worlds.
This is starting to sound like science fiction. How does this actually work in practice?
According to field reports, intelligence agencies typically start with pilot programs focused on specific threat scenarios. But here's what's fascinating. The learning curve varies dramatically. Some organizations adapt within weeks, while others spend months refining their data ontologies and access permissions.
What determines whether an organization adapts quickly or struggles?
Success often hinges on having dedicated analysts who understand both the operational requirements and the platform's capabilities. But here's the surprising part. Field reports indicate that many Gotham implementations stumble during the data integration phase rather than the training stage. It's not about learning the software, it's about getting all your disparate data sources to talk to each other.
So the technical challenge isn't the AI, it's the plumbing?
Exactly. And the training requirements are complex too. Analysts working with geospatial data need different instruction than those focusing on financial transactions. System administrators need hands-on workshops covering security protocols and data governance. Executive stakeholders need high-level overviews emphasizing strategic decision-making capabilities.
Let's talk about security. With all this sensitive data flowing through one system, how do they protect it?
The security architecture is actually quite sophisticated. Access control mechanisms operate on multiple layers simultaneously. Users don't get blanket permissions for entire datasets. Instead, the system enforces granular restrictions based on classification levels, need-to-know requirements, and time-bound access windows.
Time-bound access windows?
Yeah, so your access to certain data might expire after a specific period. And here's the accountability piece. Audit logs capture every interaction with sensitive information. This creates massive amounts of metadata that organizations must store and occasionally review. The forensic capabilities prove invaluable during security incidents.
But I imagine there's still the fundamental tension between making data accessible and keeping it secure.
Absolutely. Deployment behind air-gapped networks remains common for the most sensitive applications. Cloud-based instances exist but typically handle less classified workloads. The tension between accessibility and security manifests differently across government versus private sector deployments.
Now let's get to the real-world impact. How is this actually being used by law enforcement and defense?
The applications are pretty extensive. Local departments and regional fusion centers use Palantir to ingest and cross-reference records from DMV, license plate readers, records management systems, credit and government benefit databases. They can start with minimal inputs and rapidly surface what researchers call intimate details and connections among people, vehicles, and events.
Give me a concrete example of how this works.
Sure. According to the research, this can involve mapping a suspected gang member's network using arrest logs and license plate reader data, or flagging individuals in a specific region with a particular immigration status. The software enables analysts to search for individuals based on characteristics as granular as a tattoo or an immigration status.
That level of granular search capability is both impressive and concerning. What about the efficiency gains?
The efficiency gains are staggering. For investigators, what once required weeks of cross-checking siloed systems can now be done in hours or less. That's a fundamental transformation in how intelligence work gets done.
But there's got to be a downside to this level of surveillance capability, right?
Well, civil liberties organizations have raised significant concerns. They've criticized Palantir's police technology as predictive policing, though CEO Alex Karp disputes this characterization. There are also concerns about contracts that enable deportations of undocumented immigrants and the aggregation of sensitive data on Americans.
What's the difference between what Palantir claims and what critics are saying?
Palantir insists its tools are analytical aids requiring human judgment. But observers argue that departments have applied Palantir outputs beyond post hoc casework into deployment or forecasting exercises that resemble predictive policing, sending officers to high-risk locations because the system flags them, which can create feedback loops that magnify bias.
So we're talking about AI potentially reinforcing existing biases in policing?
That's the concern. And the oversight is described as patchwork. Palantir points to built-in technical controls and legal governance, while civil liberties groups and academic studies document opacity, contractual limits on transparency, and real-world gaps in accountability.
Let's zoom out. What does General Mattis think about all this? I saw he's quoted in their materials.
Former Defense Secretary James Mattis said, "Palantir came up with groundbreaking technologies that help us make better decisions in combat zones. You are giving us advantages right now that we need." That's a pretty strong endorsement from someone at that level.
And the business side is clearly working. What are the numbers looking like?
Palantir's revenue hit $4.48 billion in 2025, with operating income of $1.41 billion. They have 4,429 employees, and their customer base includes federal agencies, state and local governments, international organizations, and private companies like Morgan Stanley, Airbus, and Fiat Chrysler.
So this isn't just government surveillance, it's expanding into commercial applications too?
Absolutely. According to Zacks Equity Research, though rooted in defense, Gotham's versatility now spans finance, healthcare, aviation, and disaster response. It's becoming a critical platform for operational efficiency and decision-making across industries.
What about the technical capabilities? How advanced is the AI component?
Gotham merges structured and unstructured data dynamically, enabling real-time analysis. The AI and machine learning components detect patterns, enhance threat detection, and automate complex analytics. Features like geospatial mapping, network analysis, and mixed reality operations give users full situational awareness.
Mixed reality operations, what does that actually look like in practice?
According to Palantir's documentation, they can layer existing intelligence and AI detections on full motion video using augmented reality, so users can rapidly make sense of evolving geospatial situations. Imagine looking at drone footage and having AI automatically identify and label everything in real time.
That's like having a real-time intelligence overlay on reality itself.
Exactly. And here's what's really interesting about the workflow. In Palantir Gotham, every user action feeds back into the organization's data foundation, so AI models are continuously refined based on operator feedback and live data. It's a learning system.
So the more it's used, the smarter it gets?
Right. And for mission planning, operators can rapidly assemble, coordinate, and disseminate operational plans in familiar doctrinal templates, while AI-generated recommendations surface dependencies and options based on live operations data. Commanders maintain a complete history of each operation for after-action review.
This level of integration and automation in intelligence operations, is this the future of how governments and organizations will operate?
It seems like we're already there. The platform is described as the premier decision-making platform for AI-enabled operations. Organizations use it to integrate and exploit massive-scale data and deploy proven AI to warfighters. The question isn't whether this is the future, it's how we manage the implications.
And those implications are pretty significant, right? We're talking about fundamentally changing how surveillance and intelligence work.
Absolutely. The research notes that Palantir's work with the federal government is amplifying the process of pulling together data from various sources. We're seeing the political and social consequences of combining those data sources in ways we've never seen before.
What should people understand about living in a world where this technology exists?
I think the key insight is that this isn't science fiction anymore. The capability to connect vast, disparate datasets and build detailed intelligence profiles exists today. The efficiency gains are real, but so are the privacy and civil liberties concerns. Understanding how these systems work is crucial for informed public discourse about their use.
And the technology is only going to get more sophisticated.
Exactly. With continuous updates and customization, organizations are maintaining competitive advantages through these platforms. The integration with legacy systems, APIs, and third-party AI tools means this is becoming the backbone of modern intelligence operations.
So when you step back from all this technical detail, what's the bigger picture here? What does Palantir Gotham represent for society?
Gotham represents a fundamental shift in how intelligence and surveillance operate. We've moved from manual, siloed investigations to AI-powered, integrated analysis that can process billions of data points in real time. The efficiency gains are transformative, but we're also creating unprecedented surveillance capabilities.
And the implications extend far beyond just government use. This technology is reshaping how organizations across industries make decisions and understand their environments.
Right. Whether it's tracking suspected criminals, planning military operations, or analyzing business intelligence, Gotham is becoming the operating system for complex decision-making. The question is whether our oversight and accountability mechanisms can keep pace with the technology.
Here's what strikes me most about this whole conversation. We're living through a moment where the technology from spy thrillers is becoming everyday reality. Palantir Gotham isn't just changing how intelligence agencies work, it's redefining what's possible when you can connect every piece of data about every person and make it searchable in real time. The next time you hear about a major investigation being solved in record time, or a terrorist plot being disrupted, or even a business making an incredibly precise decision, there's a good chance there's a system like Gotham working behind the scenes, connecting dots that humans never could. Thanks for joining us on Copilot